Welcome to Lawn in Disorder, podcast from the suburbs, with your hosts Karen Morgan and Jim Colleton.
Today we're going to be talking about projects around your house.
And there is nothing better than projects around the house. Hello, everyone. This is Jim Colleton. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Lawn in Disorder, podcasts from the suburbs. When me and Karen were talking about this subject, it is quite different the way men and women think about projects around the house. First of all, this was going to be about handy projects we do around the house. But it turns out Karen has a very handy husband who can build things.
But doesn't. Because
exactly. Who
he has the ability, chooses not to.
He's probably worse than me because I don't have the ability to do things around the house. I've just never been that handy of a person. So I know my limitations. So that's why I don't do things around the house.
The good thing is I don't bug my husband to do it because I don't really feel like, I'm not a nagger. I go back to I'm not a nagger. An example of I'm not a nagger is that we had a hairdryer outlet in my bathroom. My son borrowed my hairdryer to actually dry a deer hide out in the garage, which is a whole nother story. But
sure, we've all been there. And that's,
exactly,
deer hide. Put that right on the hairdryer package. Also good for drying dead deer hides.
For tanning deer hides. But so he came in and he sort of pulled the hairdryer out too hard out of the outlet and broke the outlet when he did it. And my husband, who actually builds houses and builds things. That's his actual job. He came home from work that day and I said, hey, Axel broke the hairdryer outlet, and he just sort of just mumbled at me, just bleh, 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 and just like left the room and went and fixed himself a drink. It was just like hairdryer, kids, bleh, it doesn't really. So, because I'm not a nagger, I told him the thing was broken. I kind of let him be, and eventually he gets around to it. But the next day, I really did have to dry my hair, and the closest outlet was like on our bedroom floor. So I plugged my hairdryer in like right next to him by the bed and dried my hair just as a reminder. I don't nag, just as a reminder.
But I'm sure, as most men, it didn't even faze him, right?
No, nothing. I did that literally for 2 weeks. I dried my hair in the bedroom on the ground. Then I went in to his truck, and his truck is filled with tools and construction things. I got this job site electrical extension cord. It's like thick, giant cord. Wrapped it through his pillow, by his shoes, all the way through the and into the bathroom, and thought maybe he might notice that. But again, I'm not a nagger, so I wasn't going to bother him with it. And then after 2 weeks of that, so we're going on like a month of no hairdryer outlet getting fixed. He came to me and he goes, hey, I need to get my extension cord back. And I was like, and I was so proud of myself because I was so calm. I did not raise my voice. I did not get upset. I was so proud. I said, I will give you this back if you could just fix my hairdryer outlet. And he said to me, and I'll never forget it, he said, well, why didn't you tell me it was broken? So yeah, so that's my husband. That's what happens at my house.
I think as a husband, the no nagging is so important. Like, most guys would give up a lot of looks in a woman if the nagging was cut down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I try. I was still proud of myself, but
I think your projects, like everything in your life, comes from how you grew up and what you grew up around. Now, did you have to? You were saying that your mom liked to keep a really clean house all the time.
Mom, you can ask any of my friends to this day about coming to my mom's house or our house. My best friend growing up will say, "Yeah, we weren't allowed in the blue room because there was this room, and had blue carpet, and it had these like oriental rug thing on the walls, and my mom would vacuum it into a very specific pattern of vacuum tracks." so she knew if people went in there, and you would be and you would make footprints on there.
We had the exact same thing. We had a living room that when I was younger, it had no furniture. It was just like a playroom, but it was a big, huge room. And then as we all got older and the little toys get put away, my mother, what is she? Antiques, I guess they're called. Like there was a love seat that I know that was redone, and then this other couch, and and there was a piano in the room. All this furniture was in there. No one was allowed to go in there. Not us. I had friends. I remember my parents went away to Ireland, when I was in high school, and I had some guys over, and it wasn't a party at all. It was maybe 4 or 5 of us just sitting around. And my buddy TJ walked in, and he's standing in there, and he goes, "I've never been in this room, Collie. We're 22 years old, and I've never been in this room yet." I go, "Yeah," and I go, "Do you want to hang out? You want to have a beer?" And he goes, "No, I don't want your mother finding out." He wouldn't even stay. We just walk right out.
I don't feel
we had the exact same, and I don't understand. We don't have one of those in my house right now. I don't understand that generation that had a room that wasn't used for anything.
Yeah, this is the room, but no one can use it. I had my mom hand sewed this shower curtain for me for my bathroom, and but she required me when I took a shower to squeegee everything and dry the whole thing with a towel when I was done. It finally became too difficult to take a shower in my own shower. And I started taking a shower in my brother's shower and just didn't even do mine.
Yeah, to have a shower curtain that takes prep time when you're done in the shower.
Mostly what I remember growing up with my mom with her OCD was just the vacuum. The vacuum ran constantly. I have PTSD over vacuum noises. So to this day, I don't vacuum that much in my own house because I have flashbacks to my childhood. I'll sweep. It's quiet. I'm happy.
Oh, right. But you always had the vacuum going.
Yeah.
See, we had 6 kids. I had 6 kids in my family. So, there's a million kids always running around. And there was always everyone had friends over all the time too. So there was always, our house was clean, but my mother was definitely not into, making sure every little corner was spotless. There was just so many kids running around and neighborhood kids. But here's the thing that pissed me off about my childhood is I had 5 sisters. We had a huge yard. We had about an acre of land. It was all landscape with grass and wood chips and stuff like that. But the only ones who went out and did yard work was me and my father. We'd be out there all day on a Saturday. And I'm like, there's 6 of them, the 5 girls and my mother in there doing whatever chores they had to do in there. I was like, I don't know, this is our stuff out here. I'm like, the numbers don't work out here is what I'm getting at.
Well, were they actually doing housework though while you were outside, or do you even know?
No. Yeah. A couple of them. I have a couple sisters that would never really do much of anything. You know what I mean? It was always we always had lists. Everyone had things to do, and some of them and I don't know. Someone always had some kind of headache. And with teenage girls, if they say they have a headache, my father goes, "Good enough. You don't have to do your work." You know what I mean?
You're all done. You're good.
Yeah, and I would go, "Hey, I have a headache, Dad. Take some aspirin. Let's go. Get out there."
Suck it up. You're fine. So my mom's OCD extended into the yard, and we had a big yard. We had 13 acres, and we lived in Georgia, and there was a lot of pine trees around our house. My mom used to make us pick up pine cones. And I remember we had these sheetrock buckets. That's what we collected pine cones in because she couldn't stand the fact that there were pine cones on the ground. And I would always try to explain to her, we live in Georgia. The pine cones fall all that. We are never finished. It's just it was like shoveling in a snowstorm. So did you do any projects with your dad when you were growing up?
Yeah, we did. Being, obviously me and him were the only men in the house. We did all kinds of projects. And here's the great thing. My father sold building materials like countertops, windows, and doors. But he was not that handy of a guy. Like I would just watch him as a kid. We do these projects, and I'm just like, there's just something about this doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? And he would never even admit that he was that handy. He would say that he was just trying to get the projects done to move on. But I remember one time, me and my father went down to the basement, and I said, I was young. I was maybe 8, 9 years old. I said, "What are we going to do?" He's like, "Oh, your mother wants us to build a little crib for baby Jesus for the manger for the nativity scene that we had out in front of our house."
We're doing the Lord's work, is what we're doing. We're building a crib for God.
Yeah, so we went down, and I'm not kidding you. Putting it together, like we were just pulling out a wood. Our house that we lived in was was like brand new. So we had all this. You know how you have all leftover plywood.
I'm familiar with that.
So we were just pulling stuff out, nailing stuff together. There was no plans or anything. But I'm not kidding you. This little baby crib ended up to be the size of like a king size bed. And even as we're lugging this up from the basement, I'm like, and here you think Mom's going to go, "Oh, well, at least you tried." She was like, "What the hell is this thing? It's bigger than Joseph and Mary."
Did you put it out in the yard?
No, he was so pissed. We gunned it in the side next to the garage, and then we ended up smashing up, just using it for firewood.
Firewood. That's the end of everything. We can just use it for fire. It'll be kindling. It's fine. We can burn it.
Yeah. And I think baby Jesus was just in a wreath that season.
My dad never did any projects at home. I remember he traveled a lot. He was gone quite a bit. So my mom was really sort of in charge of everything around the house. But my dad was also in real estate and construction. So he, very much like my husband, knew all about it or how to do it, but didn't happen. It's the cobbler's children have no shoes syndrome. The contractor's house is a piece of crap because nothing gets fixed.
They're always out doing other things. And that's what people, and they probably say the same thing to you. People always say to my wife about being a stand-up comedian, like if she comes to a show, they're like, "Oh my God, it must be so fun living with him." My wife, so I was like, "Oh yeah, it's a laugh a minute. This guy, you get him home, he just keeps the jokes a rolling."
Keeps going. Well, I found, because when I met my husband, and I think this is one of the keys to, I joke about it, but it's actually true. The key to a long marriage, or at least ours, is you've got to find somebody to get married to that has the same tolerance for filth. If you are OCD about being clean and your spouse is not, you're just going to have constant squabbling about it. And my husband and I are both pretty tolerant of dirt and mess. Things are not unsanitary at our house, but we're both quite willing to overlook a lot of stuff with 3 kids.
And that's it. That's why you get along, because you come home and me and Aaron are probably on the same page as when we were first married, and you have nothing else to do. You know what I mean? You have no children. You get up and you have a nice breakfast, and you both clean the kitchen, and then you maybe sweep, and then, "Do you want to go to the gym?" "I would love to go to the gym." You go to because you have nothing to do.
But you don't know it yet.
Yeah, you don't.
Do it then. Oh.
And then you're like, "Hey, honey, did you leave your coffee cup on the coffee table last night?" And she's like, "Oh my God, I did." Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And then you throw 3 kids in. You're like, that coffee cup has been on the coffee table for 6 months. No one's going to pick it up,
It's sitting there. Well, I think Scott, being a builder, when he comes home, he just doesn't want to do it when he comes home. And he doesn't, when our kids were smaller, we moved a lot because we would buy a small house and then flip that to buy a little bit bigger house. So we moved. Before our youngest went to kindergarten, I think we moved 5 times, but there was one house that we had that we knew we weren't going to stay there. But it was a very nice house, but we knew we weren't going to live there forever. So Scott never put doorknobs in the whole upstairs. Like we just never got to it. And our kids were small, so I was like, do we really need doorknobs? Not really. So, but I would always be trying to go to the bathroom, and their little eyes would be like it was a circle hole, and they're just like, "Mom." I'm like, just there was no way to get away from them.
To keep them out of there.
Yeah. And the day we sold the house, he put all the doorknobs in, and I was pissed. I'm like,
Yeah, like, here we go. Here's doorknobs.
yeah.
I worked, I think it was the summer I got out of college. I worked for a guy doing construction, like small. It was just one guy. We did decks and, replaced windows, and that was about it. And for some reason, I was dating Erin at the time, my wife's eyes, that made me the handiest person in the world. And like she thought I just gained all this knowledge from, like, I literally just carried lumber in and out of the van, and every now I get lunch and run extension cords for the guy. That was about, what I mean. I did, every now and then he'd let me cut something, and I'd always cut it wrong. He's like, "Did you listen to the numbers I gave you?" I'm like, not really.
Not really.
But we bought our first house. She thought I could do everything. She's like, "Well, I want a new front door. Do you think you can do that?" No, I don't know how to put in a front door. And here's the thing: I can do little stuff. And I have a couple friends, and like my brother-in-law is in construction. He'll come over and help me. So if I have a guy that's telling me, we have to do this and then this, I can handle that. Like I have a saw that has a laser on it.
Ooh.
So, yeah, my handiwork is like my golf game. I think that the more you look the part, the better you're going to be at it. I bought myself a Carhartt jacket, and I just feel like a handy guy when I wear that. And my best advice for any new homeowner is buy yourself a tool belt, because I bought myself a tool belt, and there's nothing. You got a project, you put that thing on a Saturday morning, and it's go time, baby.
I know what I'm doing.
I got pockets.
Hang a hammer. I've learned to be handy because my husband won't fix anything because he doesn't want to do it when he's at home. Like we had the spigot of the tub. We have well water, so there's a lot of iron in our water, so it builds up and it kind of ruins the fixtures. So I go on YouTube and I learn how to do stuff, and I don't even tell him that I'm doing it because he'll just grumble. And so I've learned how I'm now a plumber. So
really? Yeah.
I can do it. But we've lived in the house. The house we're in now has been the longest we've ever lived in one place. So things are. You kind of need to do maintenance and stuff, but nobody does it. So it's starting to fall apart. We moved in here the day before Max started kindergarten, and he literally, the school bus was coming the next day. So we're frantically trying to move stuff in so he can go to bed, so everybody can get up for the first day of school because it was a big deal. And the last set of boxes and stuff in the moving process got thrown into the basement, and they are literally in the same spot today that they were in 13 years ago because we haven't had the fortitude to clean them up. I don't even know what's in there. I have no idea. I was going to say,
there's got to be some important things in those boxes.
Whatever it is, it's important. So that's how good we are with our maintenance of our house.
Yeah, I remember. What's so funny that you brought up YouTube, though, what is just crazy, because we did the house I'm in now was a very small little house, and then when we were having our second baby, we're like, all right, we got to buy a new house because this house isn't big enough. We looked around, and then we hired an architect, and she came over and she said, yeah, you got a great lot, so you should really build on this house. So we did this huge addition on the house, and so me, my brother-in-law, and my cousin built the deck out back. And we literally, I figured those two guys, I figured I had two other guys come and help me. Someone would know how to start the deck building process. So it's Saturday, and this is so many years ago. We were using dial-up. I go, it's putting I guess connecting the deck to the house with the lag bolts. I had the stuff. The guys at the hardware store were able to prep me with everything I needed. But I'm like, all right, now what do we do about getting these getting this piece of wood connected to the house? And someone just goes, let's look it up on YouTube. So we literally had to dial in and Aaron's like, is this going to be safe? We have young children. They're going to be running around. I can't promise you anything.
Well, it makes me almost feel bad for guys then that people, even you, you assumed there's two more guys here. Between the three of us, someone certainly knows how to build a deck. And this is the same thing, I think, with women or maybe moms. That certainly someone knows how to cook this turkey. It doesn't.
Yeah, we all just
necessarily
kind of assume
trans-
we don't know it, but someone else of our gender will know.
Someone will know how to cook or build something. Oh, we have a garage. I don't know if y'all have you have a garage. Yeah, I've been to your house. You have
Yeah.
do you actually park your cars in it?
No, we've never put our cars.
Have you ever
Maybe
parked
when we
cars?
first moved in, I cleaned it all out. We put one car in. That was
Yeah.
many,
Yeah.
many years ago.
No, we have a 3-car garage filled with no cars. It's filled with plywood and as you said, construction wood from when the house was built still in there. You know, we have a lot. For some reason, we have a lot of sticks and firewood kindling that my husband refuses to. I'm like, can we just have one giant bonfire and then we could park the cars in the garage?
And have some kind of use
Yeah.
of our
Yeah.
3-car garage. Well, doesn't your oldest dry his dead
We have. Yeah, there's
animals in there too?
There's the animal skins, and there's just always a dead head of some sort. There's some sort of taxidermy project is usually happening out there. I try not to go to the garage really. I don't really want to see what's out there. I just park my car and clean the snow off of it as if we don't have a garage. So
And then just walk right in. You know, whatever. I've always I don't know if you've noticed this too. Maybe get this with females, but the most basic job, like I have a few friends that are painters, and if I ask them a painting question, they act like I am asking them about I'm gonna try brain surgery on Saturday. They're like, oh, well, what are you doing, Jimmy? You're going to use eggshell? What are you going to use, a matte finish, a semi-gloss? You shouldn't get involved in this. I'm like, hey, I'm putting a little paint on one of the bathrooms. Oh, you don't know. You know, when are you going to cut in first and roll it? I'm like, is it white a good color is all I was asking you. And yeah, you're not going to get involved in this, are you? Yeah, I am. I think I can pull off some painting.
yeah,
And, well, the opposite. You ever gone to someone's house? They have like this picture perfect house, and the husband is like real handy and like, oh, come on back. You got to see the tree house that my husband built for the children. You're like, oh, you got to be kidding me, buddy. You know, I pull that lever and then a little staircase comes down. I'm like, oh, I hate this guy.
I hate your whole family.
If you build a tree house for your family and it's not like you can't see nails and plywood sticking out, don't show. No one else wants to see that, all right? If you're Captain Handy and you actually got around to building your kids a tree house, just keep it a secret from everyone. No one wants to see it.
We always tried to build them growing up, and we would get as far as like hammering in the ladder to the tree trunk, and then like one piece of wood that we balanced on a limb. I'm amazed no one broke a neck trying to, because no one ever helped us. We just certainly did not have the very nice kind that no dads were helping us at all.
No, my kids did one, but it was just on the ground. I think we told them it had, and it was on the ground, and then it just kind of looked like a homeless shelter for a while, and you could kind of see it from the street, and it was just like plywood, and there was some trash around it. So at one point when the kids were at school, I just demolished it and then told the kids the town came and took it down. So
Yeah, a hobo needed it for his own house.
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
We gave it to a hobo. So talking about going into people's houses that you hate. There was a woman that when my oldest was in preschool invited us over for a birthday party. And I said, I'm sure it'd be great. We'd love to come, but I don't have childcare and I have 2 other kids. Can I bring them too? Oh, of course. So we got there, and we got there a little early. Maybe we're the first people there, and her house was spotless. I mean, like you could eat soup off the floor. Everything was in its place. The toys were always in a little basket, and I know they were having a party, so she'd probably cleaned up. But I was just like, oh, your house is so clean. It doesn't look anything like mine. And she goes, well, I get up every day at 3 a.m. while the children are sleeping. And then that's when I do my cleaning. I thought, okay, you're a crazy person. And I don't need to clean my house like you.
And her husband's like, are you kidding me? He's lying in bed at 3 and he hears a vacuum going. He's probably
it's my mom. She's my mom. PTSD.
Yeah, why did I marry this woman?
No.
So here's the weirdest thing, though. Talking about having people over. And like I said, my wife's kind of at the same level of cleanliness as me, so she doesn't get too crazy. But when we have like a large party, we have a toaster oven. It's on our counter. You know what I mean? I think every family owns and enjoys their toaster oven. But Erin will take our toaster oven, we'll have people, and she will put it in the basement, like down there by the washer and dryer. So she hides it. Like she's ashamed that we're toasting things when people aren't around. I'm always like, and then like the next day, I'm like, where the hell is the toaster? She's like, oh, yeah, I put it down in the basement. I'm like, why? Why do you do that? Why?
No one needs to know we toast.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret. We have a toaster oven that we have a toaster that sometimes people use, and then we have a toaster oven that someone gave us. It was like one of those. Do you remember Ronco? The Ron.
Oh yeah, the
Jitsu
commercial
knives and all. And so this toaster oven is, somebody gave it to us and it works fine, but it's bright blue. It's like electric blue. And I was like, you know what? It's free. It works. And we are going to embrace this toaster oven. And it sits proudly and matches nothing else.
That's what she said. Oh, I just need the counter space. And I'm like, nah, I think you're embarrassed by our dirty toaster oven.
We're embarrassed by our toast. Real people toast. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we try to keep up with the messes in the house, but like as you and I agree, we're not great at it. So, but what we have found with being in this house for 13 years and having 3 kids and a dog is that we just have stuff. We have so much stuff. So my projects these days tend to be how to get rid of the stuff. So I guess when the Marie Kondo cleaning craze came out, what was it, last fall? When everybody, I don't remember when it was, but
I have no idea what a Marie Kondo craze is. So you can pick a year, and I will agree with you.
Back in 1980, there's this lovely little Japanese lady whose name is Marie Kondo, and
I hate her already. I'll tell you that right now.
She's just trying to help us. So she wrote a book called Tidying Up, and then there's a TV show called Tidying Up, and her whole premise is that she helps you get rid of your stuff that you don't need, so that your life is more simple. So I thought, well,
I gotta write a book. I'll tell you that right now.
So this is the best part of Marie Kondo. This is how she helps you clean, and you basically have to take. You start with different piles. So you do clothes or you do books. You start with like one subject matter. So like for clothes, you're supposed to take all of your clothes, like literally out of your closet, and then you pile them all on your bed, like one at a time. And then you hold them up and you have to ask the secret question that she has is, does this spark joy? So
what was that question again?
Does this spark joy?
So you're going to hold up like a champion sweatshirt from 1996 and go, does this spark joy?
This spark joy.
No, it keeps me warm when I'm painting. It's got paint all over it.
So then it might bring you joy. So you have to. So if it does spark joy, you keep it. But if it doesn't spark joy, you're supposed to take it to Goodwill and get rid of it. So this is how you make the decision, is if it sparks joy. And I have a Jimmy Buffett T-shirt from 1990 that has holes in it that is literally disintegrating. T-shirts get to that point that they're just perfect, and then right after that they fall apart. So I had all this stuff, and so I got rid of a lot of my stuff, and then my husband and I share a closet. So I told Scott, I'm like, okay, you got to get rid of some of you. I got rid of all my stuff, and I knew if he didn't get rid of some of his stuff, he would just expand like a gas into my open space.
Yeah, it's open space.
So I was like, okay, so we got to get rid of some of your stuff. So we started with one of his shirts, and I just grabbed a shirt like off the hanger. I'm like, how about this shirt? Does this shirt spark joy? He goes, I don't even know if that's my shirt. I've never seen that shirt before in my life. He goes, how did it even get here? I said, this is your part of the closet. Your shirt is here. He goes, I don't know. I don't think that's my shirt.
A random man is hanging his shirts in your closet.
So anyway, Marie Kondo helped a little bit,
Yeah. We're in the stage again. Me and her are a little different. I honestly think I probably have more clothes than her. Like we have a walk-in closet, and I always say because I'm an entertainer, like I need to have a couple suits when I do corporate or cruise ships, and I like to have nice show. So I have this whole section that's just my show shirts, and she knows she's not allowed to. They spark great joy for everyone. So that's what I would tell the cleaning lady. Don't touch them.
Don't touch my show shirts.
And then I also don't want to throw them out because I think it's bad karma. I'm like, oh, I had some great shows with this shirt, but it doesn't fit anymore. But I don't want to throw it out, so we're just going to put it in the far back of the closet, and hopefully the good show juice is going to flow onto the new shirts.
Do you ever worry? Because I do this too. Sometimes I'll do something that was videotaped, so it was taped. So I'm like, well, can I just never wear this dress again? Or people will think, oh, she had
like when you tape a special or something. And you know what? Like, so one of my headshots, it's the one that the cruise ships use a lot. I'm wearing this suit. I actually took him. There was a photographer on the cruises, and he took the pictures. And so sometimes I'm walking into the showroom with the exact same suit that I'm on in the headshot. Oh, there I am in the suit that I am wearing right now tonight.
As advertised, I am here. No surprises. So after Marie Kondo, I found another cleaning method, and I actually bought this book that's called Swedish Death Cleaning. And
sounds like a better book.
It's actually a much better book. So what they do in Sweden is that before you die, they don't want you to burden your loved ones with all of your clutter. Like I thought like right now, if something happened to me and Scott and our kids had to go through all the crap in this house, they would hate us. Like they would just hate all the stuff that we've collected. So Swedish death cleaning, basically, you're supposed to clean up all your stuff and get rid of your things. Like if you think you're close to death, which is, I'm like, that was my big question about the book. How do you know? But you're supposed to say, oh, I don't need this lamp anymore. Here, you take it and enjoy it. But like, are you supposed to lay there on your deathbed and hand out lamps? I don't really get that part, but.
Or even if you hand out the lamp, then and say you live another 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to read in bed, but I already gave my lamp away.
I already gave my lamp away, so I guess I have to end my life now. I can't.
I was thinking that like maybe the Swedish thing was if you had a child that didn't clean their room, then you put them to death. I was like, oh, I think I like this book better than just giving your crap away.
I would like to on certain days. I have 3 that they each have their own skills. Like one of mine is really great at laundry, my oldest, and he's a boy, and he's the best one at laundry of the 3 of them. I don't do my kids' laundry, by the way. This was the one thing my mom, because she had OCD when I was growing up, would not allow me to do my own laundry because I would do it incorrectly. So she only did my clothes, and I just kind of wanted to be independent and do my own clothes. So when my kids, I think they were probably 10, and I was like, you know what? You each are responsible for your own laundry. I'm not doing it. And so my oldest does his laundry, folds his laundry. He comes in the laundry room, takes it out of the dryer. I never see it. The other 2,
They just leave it on top of the dryer till they need something.
Well, my youngest son, we never see it. It's all literally everything it is in his room, and all the empty laundry bins somehow are up there too. Like they just
my youngest son too. He likes to keep the laundry. He'll have 4 or 5. He's like, those 2 are clean, and those 2 are dirt, and they're all right next to each other. I'm like, how do you tell?
Yeah, nothing's folded, but it's all.
I had the different. Like I told you, I was the only boy, and I had 5 sisters and a mother and a father, and I probably never ever touched my own laundry ever. Like when me and Erin got married, she's like, "Do you want to do the laundry?" And I'm like, "Or do you want me to do it?" I'm like, "Well, you better do it because I have no idea what you're talking about right now." I just think these shirts magically get ironed and put back in my closet.
That's going to be your list. When you guys got married, did y'all sit down and say, "I'll do these things and you do those things"? Did you have like a pact?
No, but as we started, the first year or 2 of marriage, like we went food shopping once together. And when we got in the car, I can never do that with you again.
Okay,
why? She looks at every label and reads content and calories and this. Like I'm like, we need cereal. Grab a box of cereal, throw it in the box, in the cart. and she would look at everything and price and this, and oh my God, it was so hard. And so then, yeah, she took it over for a while, and then she got sick of it. And so a couple years ago, I would go food shopping. Now I think it's back to her. So
it's the unwritten rule. It's
we just couldn't do it. We couldn't do it together.
Well, I think that's a very husband-wife thing. My husband shops very differently, and we never go together. I don't think we have ever even once gone together. But he will go, eggs, milk, bread, crackers, meat, home. Like he gets 4 things, and that's it. Like, but I do go up and down the aisles because I'm like, I know I should have something on this list. So I go up and down each aisle to make sure I didn't forget anything. But then I come home with a whole lot of extra stuff I probably don't need. But
and I'm the same way. When I can go into Target, the store Target, most you need to go down to Target. We need Band-Aids, and I'm like, all right. And I go in and I pick up Band-Aids. So $4.95 later, I am checking out of Target. My wife will go, I'm going out to Target. We need Band-Aids. And $235 later, she is checking out. I'm like, what the hell happened? What kind of Band-Aids did you pick
It's
up?
physically impossible for us to go into Target and just get Band-Aids. That's not happening at all. When Scott and I got married, the only pact I remember was most things that organically have happened, like in terms of what the responsibilities are. Like when the kids were little, if someone puked, that was mine. And then if someone pooped, that was his. Like, I don't know why. Puke was my department, poop was his department. I don't know why. But when we first got married, as we were getting engaged, he goes, I just want you to know, I'm never going to Disney World. And I was like, okay, I just want you to know I'm never cooking dinner.
Well, those are 2 big things to throw out.
Yeah. So far we've held to, I've actually cooked dinner, but only because I wanted to, but he's definitely never gone to Disney World and will never go. So that's a whole other episode of a Disney World trip.
We kind of, like, as you go, and same thing. I never understood when the kids were little, 3, 4, 5 years old, they would come into your room and wake you up and go, I'm going to get sick. And then they would throw up on the carpet. And I tell you what, buddy, you don't need to let us know anymore. You just go get sick. It will help you once we hear you getting sick. But they felt like they needed to throw up inches from your head.
Right there. Oh,
yeah. With anything that happened at night, it was always Erin would get up, and then she would take the child back to bed and yell at me, get up and clean that up, or son just threw up, clean it up. Kind of half asleep. You're like, all right, I guess I'm cleaning up poop right now, or throw up, whatever.
This is what we do. So what do you do now in terms of your household lists and stuff? Like, does Erin give you lists to do? How do you guys?
I don't know if she really hands out lists. She will have, like, if there's something like, hey, we're going to get to that today. Hey, it's a beautiful day. We're going to get to that today. And you've been asking for 6 months. Do you really think I'm getting to that? Her new thing is we have like just a little, like, movable fire pit out back. And her new thing is she wants to do the backyard, so we have a permanent fire pit. And she's been looking at these ones online. And here's the thing too. And if you're a young couple, don't watch shows like DIY shows and think that you can do things, because you can't. You know what I mean? Don't watch a YouTube video of a guy putting together a fireplace and go, oh, my husband can probably do that. No, he can't do that. He's not a mason. He doesn't know how to mix cement and keep things together and point it, or whatever you do as a mason. I don't even know the words to use, And so she's seen these fireplaces online. Do you think you can build that? Nope, not a chance I could build it. And that's her new thing. It's like, well, I bet you we can do it together. Me and you can spend a weekend and we'll build a fireplace,
No, we just bought one of those metal ones because Mac's birthday is next week, and he'll be 18. So what I figure is yard party, and
yeah.
And so they
work out great. You just burn crap in your backyard. You know.
We're gonna empty our garage maybe also.
Yeah. But no, that's how it goes. There's no really list, and we do share, like, we'll share laundry and meals, and I can actually cook some stuff as long as she lays everything out. The ingredients, we have all the ingredients, and she explains what, like, sometimes the stuff, it gets too complicated, but if it's nice and simple, I can do it.
What about car maintenance? Do you do any of those things?
No, I can put floor mats in the car. I'm pretty good at that. If they move around, I can adjust them. I wouldn't recommend that to everyone. It's kind of a trait I have, a skill. No, anything with the cars I'm in charge of. You know what? With the new cars now, if change in temperature, sometimes the low pressure gauge comes off in her car.
Yeah.
And some reason that's my fault. Even if I'm on the road, it's my fault.
It's a vehicle.
I had to use your car today because the low pressure went off. I go, well, it's like 0 degrees out. So it was 80 yesterday, 0 today. That may have had something. Nope, you got to fix it the minute you get home. So anything that goes wrong with any of the cars, whether the kids have a car, if it's their car, my car, it's always my fault.
Yeah, your fault. For some reason, I have been deemed the dishwasher person. I don't wash dishes in the sink. We have a dishwasher. But I seem to be literally the only person in the whole house who knows how to unload it and put the things away. Like I came home yesterday, we were up at the lake raking, or my husband was raking, I was sitting, and the kids had been home all day, and the dishwasher was filled with clean dishes, could have been put away, and the sink was filled with dirty dishes because they didn't have an open, clean dishwasher to put things in. So, and even in the mornings, my husband will be fixing coffee and I will always unload the dishwasher. And now he knows that it makes me mad. So he just says, there's another coffee cup in that dishwasher if you'd like to put it away. I'm like, I'm going to shoot you in the eyeball right now.
Yeah, my kids are not afraid to open a clean dishwasher and find a little space and then throw a dirty dish in there. And then you come and you go, I don't know, is this clean or dirty right here? What are we? So my wife had to come up with these little clean and dirty signs to put on the dishwasher.
The little magnets.
And don't you hate when your kids complain about stuff? Like my son will take like a knife out of the dishwasher. He's like, that dishwasher sucks. Look, this has still got food on it. I'm like, yeah, it was covered in peanut butter and you put it in the dishwasher. That's why the dishwasher sucks. The dishwasher doesn't suck. You suck.
You suck at putting stuff in the dishwasher.
Yeah, and I think if I had to end it on any advice, here would be my advice for any guys out there. If you're going to have your house, and then down in the basement is usually where a guy's workbench area is. And that's where I have my workbench. That's where I have my saw that's got a laser on it, and I have my tool belt. But here is the most important thing. I also have a refrigerator right beside my workbench. And it's always got a few beers in the refrigerator. So it's at night, and the kids are cranky, and your wife's asking you questions you don't have the answer for. You just go, I need to go downstairs and work on this project. You just go down. You can drink in private in your little basement, and everything's all right.
And no one will help you. I think my advice is to just let it go. And, first of all, if you're planning to get married to someone, test out their tolerance for filth. And I think if their tolerance for filth gets anywhere near your same tolerance for filth, you just marry them right there, because that's a long lasting marriage. Just you both can sit in filth and be happy.
Yeah, because if you were this neat freak lady and you're marrying this guy who's an absolute pig, you're first of all, you're not going to change him. It's just going to be years of you picking up his dirty socks and pissing you off.
Yeah, it's never going to. Maybe it's like the college roommate questionnaires that our kids are filling out right now of what time do you go to bed? How many people will you have in your room?
Yeah, but they all lie on those too, though. You know what I mean? Like,
they should have to for married.
She keeps a clean room. I go, you're outright lying to the school right now.
No one's going to live with you. It's not happening.
If you can't see your own floor because there's just clothes all over the place, there's no way you can tell someone that you like a clean room.
That's not happening. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of a Lawn and Disorder podcast from the suburbs. Today, we've talked about home projects. If you have any home projects you'd like to ask us about, you can send us an email and we'll pretend to know what we're talking about at info@lawnanddisorder.com.
And yes, check out our Facebook page, which is also Lawn and Disorder. And if you would like to sponsor the Lawn and Disorder podcast, please get in touch with us at info@lawnanddisorder.com. And for Jim Colleton and Karen Morgan, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
This has been the Lawn and Disorder podcast from the suburbs with Karen Morgan and Jim Colleton. For more information or sponsorship opportunities, go to lawnanddisorder.com. Come visit us again in the suburbs, where you can still be happy, even though you will never again be cool.